not going to pick up all the people speaking as much as the onboard mic. So that's the biggest difference, and it also has a little bit bigger range than onboard mic. They also have bigger options. This one is small. One thing to keep in mind is if you're using a small one like this, or if you're using onboard mic, you have to make sure that your image stabilization is off, otherwise it will pick it up too. The longer mics won't pick it up because they go past the noise of the image stabilization.
So if you have something like a 70 to 200 IS and you're shooting with it, you will actually hear a very low frequency rumble in your audio. So the easiest way is to just turn off your IS if you want good audio, or you can add something like a shotgun mic. But no matter what you do with a shotgun mic, it's only going to be good when you're actually close to what you're trying to capture. Right? When I was doing the kickboxing piece, it worked well because it's a very quiet room, very loud sounds. But if we want to capture, say, a priest, or we want to capture the vows, that's not going to be sufficient for the quality we want. So what we use for that is just a wireless lab. Now, audio is an art of itself. I mean, we could stand up here and talk for all day, really, about the art of audio and how you can set it up and that sort of thing. But, like your Mark II, there's program modes, there's auto modes, right? So you can start very easy and let these things do the work for you. So all this is a receiver and a transmitter. You put one end on the groove, and then it comes with a little mic, and then you put the other end, you can plug it into your camera, or you can use something like a field recorder. So any of you who were at the Bev's presentation this morning, they talked about their Audio Plus offerings and how they record audio for some of their slideshows. This is the recorder that they were talking about. So all you can do is just plug it into here, and again, you can set your levels to auto, you can turn it all on automatic, and this can record on an SD card for up to 16 hours. So it's not something you have to monitor, you don't have to baby it, and you can get amazing audio.
And what's great about it too is you all know about the limit of recording on 5D and 7D. It's all 14 minutes. So if you have to pause the camera and restart it, at that same time, you're still recording. So whether it's a speech or whether it's vows, and you need this audio for a voiceover for your presentation, you won't miss any of the audio. So that's really important too.
What's really neat about this is a Zoom H4n. And there's other kinds of field recorders, but these are only about $299, very easy to use. But you can actually bring this up to a DJ at a reception, and he can plug it right into his board. And it will record straight to this. You don't even have to set anything else up. You plug it in, you set the levels, or you put it on auto, and it will record all of the dialogue from the entire night. You take it back, put the SD card in, and now you've got the audio of all of the speeches. So you take your slideshow, you find 2 minutes of any speech, and you just put it underneath. The simplest editing program can deal with that. iMovie, I think it's Windows Movie Maker, all of them can deal with just putting audio underneath your slideshow.
Wouldn't the emotional come to life a little bit more if you have the bride putting the dress on or preparing for the wedding, and you hear the speech of the father talking about how fast she grew up and how amazing it is that he was just playing with her being 1 year old, and right now she's already 25 and she's getting married.
And for those of you who do premieres and you actually show your couples their work and then you offer them albums and things like that, you'll notice such a huge difference in the experience you create when you add audio and you add this sort of thing, and obviously that gets them in the right mindset to purchase prints and albums when they're very emotional and they're loving everything that you just did. So with that, we are going to show you another clip where audio played a huge role. Again, keep in mind everything was recorded with either a shotgun mic, the on-camera mic, or something like this. We didn't use any traditional video camera methods.
can't wait, sweetie.
Neither can I.
I'm excited.
I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am.
I, Jessica, take you in to be my husband. To be my husband.
I commit myself,
I commit myself,
body and soul to you.
body and soul to you.
That was all. Can you lip sync? How do you sync up the audio? Well, there's a couple different. He was asking how you sync up the audio, because if you're recording audio on a separate source from your camera, you have a syncing issue, right? So one way is you can run a line into the camera, so you can actually put a headphone jack into here. It gets a little bit cumbersome though. I actually wear this bag with me. When I shot JC and Esther by myself, this is all I had with me, and the recorder and the wireless is in here, and I just kept it by my side. So the other way is how they kind of do it on film sets. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the slates, the clap, right? All that is it's just a visual, something coming together and the sound at the same time. So you can clap, you can use a flash, any kind of sign, and you just sync it up once, and then it's synced for the whole thing. So that's going to be an issue if you're recording film, but if you're just looking at adding to your slideshow, you don't even have to worry about any of that. So one thing I wanted to share with you as a little tip from that same day edit, did you notice they got married underneath a tent? It was a completely white tent, really bright sunlight, and then really green grass. So when we got in there, we set our white balance and everything, but the problem was the sun was reflecting the grass off the top, and their skin tones were really, really green, right? Red, warm, that we can deal with, but green kind of makes people look sick, not the color we want. So what's amazing about these cameras that I don't think a lot of people actually know is you can go into the menu, and it's the same with the Mark IV, the Mark II, or the 7D, and they actually have a white balance shift. So you can go in, there's a white balance shift, and it's just got a little grid here. And you can actually just pull green, blue, magenta, or red. So all we did for that wedding is we went down, we just pulled it down, we pulled 3 or 4 notches out of green, and all of a sudden the skin tones were perfect. So with photography, that would be, pretty easy to correct in Photoshop, but if you're just learning video, you don't want to have to deal with tackling all of that at once. If you learn how to use this white balance shift, you can get amazing images straight out of the camera, and you won't need to touch it.
Now, another thing, another tip for same day edit is we already said that it takes about 3-4 hours, and that is true for the reception, but we would never be able to do those same day edits if we didn't work throughout the whole day. And somebody asked me yesterday at the booth, how do you actually make it actually possible to show it the same night and still be this quality? Well, the biggest thing is that we are editing and utilizing every single minute we have when we're not shooting. So whether it's having somebody driving for you in a car so you can edit for this half an hour between the locations, or at the ceremony, if it's a long ceremony and don't shoot some parts in full, I will sit down for 5 minutes and edit if I have somebody else shooting too. So utilizing every single minute is going to be absolutely huge. Having a plan, and the third thing too is with the 5D, 7D, and the Mark IV, you will have to transfer